Family, throw your questions back into the Q box, because I lost it. This rude ass thing didn't tell me that it was ending, and I'm really bummed because I didn't get to save the live for people, but that's all right. Those who are here are meant to be here. What were we talking about? What were we talking about, family? Throw your questions in the Oh, I'm hot. I am so warm. What were we talking about, fam? Affirmations. Thank you. Affirmations. Speaking life to ourselves. Yo, I cannot tell you how powerful affirmations have been in my life. I'm gonna go get something. I'm gonna go get something that I found yesterday that I thought was amazing. I'm telling you, one day my daughter is going to, when I leave this earth, bendición, abure. One day, my daughter is going to inherit all of my journals, and she's going to be like, wow, mommy's journals are filled with prayers. Mommy's journals are filled with all of her self-talk, all of her fears, all of her worries, all of her anger, all of her dreams. Right? It's not going to be filled with like all this fucking beautiful prose. Like, wow, mommy had like hundreds of journals of like fiction and poetry and la 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 la. There's that. But honestly, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of healing in the pages. So I found this journal. So funny. It says volume 4. Dated, I date and I index all of my journals. But this is dated on March 2nd, 2012 through April 4th, 2012. This is the journal. Please re-ask your questions use the Q box, because the other live did not save and it just went away and I have no idea what you asked. The first page reads, I would like to make my worth. Period. A lot of me giving thanks, visiting my daughter. Here it is. Here's an affirmation. Ready? Keep it consistent. Creator, today feels so good. Today, although my stomach is a little upset, I feel strong. Today, I will only put good food in my body, healthy food. I'm thinking about, I hope she was able to meet really beautiful people while she was away. Creator, protect her. Creator, Mother, Father, God, please receive her mother in heaven. Please receive Tia Virginia in heaven. What would you have me know today? You are ready. You have always been ready. Today's the day. I am ready. I am so ready to be in this moment and give all that has been given to me. As I begin this day, Creator, I just want to say thank you for all that you've given me and all that I am. Thank you. And so it is. And here's the affirmation. I would write and say them 5 times. The essence of my divine woman self expresses as larger than life, hugely successful, and completely worthy. One more time. The essence of my divine woman self expresses as larger than life, hugely successful, and completely worthy. The essence of my divine woman self expresses as larger than life, hugely successful, and completely worthy. The essence of my divine woman self expresses as larger than life, hugely successful, and completely worthy of love, and completely worthy. And so I go on to write that shit like 20 times. Oh no, I have another one. My deepest desire and soul vision for 2012 is to be a famous writer, filmmaker who is hugely successful doing what I love. My deepest desire and soul vision for 2012 is to be a famous writer, filmmaker who is hugely successful doing what I love. March 4th. Today I wake up powerful, grateful, with a smile on my face. And so I go on to speak to myself like that. You know, and in the pages I have my to-do lists, and I write about my dreams. I write my affirmations, and so. Questions. How do we practice intentionally strengthening our relationship with spirit with offerings if we currently live with others, right? How do we practice intentionally strengthening our relationship with spirit with offerings if we currently live with others? That's hard. That's hard. Yo, I wish I had a drink. That's a hard question. Because in many ways, I know what it is to, in full transparency, in this religion, there are many people who do not have their own homes, but feel called to make santo. But they can't bring their guerreros home. They can't bring Elegua, Ochosi, Osum, Ogun home. And so they have to leave their spiritual things with their godparents wherever they live. And that shit is devastating. When I went to visit one of my spiritual sisters in Cuba, she was showing me a closet with all of the soperas of Yemaya for her godchildren that have had to be left. I'm telling you right now, God forbid, but if I was living under a bridge, I pray that I wouldn't even take clothes, but I would take my spirit guides. I would take my Orisha, because I cannot imagine living without them. And I can't imagine not living with my spiritual things because they have given me so much. So I can't imagine, I'm so sorry that it feels heavy. I can't imagine abandoning them. And if I'm being completely honest, I know what it is to live in a space where you can't fully practice your spirituality the way you would like, chanting or affirming or speaking these words to existence or having this altar with your things because people think it's weird and they don't respect it and they don't respect you. And so what do? That shit is hard. I know I have some people, some friends, some clients who are like, I live in a room, I have roommates. Is it okay for me to create my altar in the closet? Yes, it's okay. They're not going to feel bad that they're in a closet. We feel bad. I have had to keep mine hidden in closets. I know what that is. And that shit is, I felt very much in that moment. I felt, oh, thank you for ringing the bell, Abude. That was a devastating time for me. I have to be honest. That was one of my low moments because I wanted to have them, beautifully. Like, I can't wait to have a space where I can have columns and have them lifted, have them, on their altars because they're kings and queens. And I want them to have a fucking reinado. I want them to have a kingdom. That's because of what they've given me. So I say, let's keep it humble. Let's keep it cute. Our ancestors did not have homes. Many of them lived in huts. Many of them lived in just little shanty houses with fucking tin roofs. And they had stones and crystals that were their gods, and they prayed. So keep it simple. You don't have to have the perfect scenario, the perfect home, to have a candle, a glass of water, an image of your dead, or some representation of whatever belief or thing you're practicing. If you have to hide it, but you have to have your spiritual practice. That's a non-negotiable. Yes, we're using our body as our altar all the time. I'm always adorning myself, but I have to be honest. When I was receiving a spiritual thing, I love repping Ogun, and I went in there with this big Ogun. I was crisscrossed with my elekes, like, pow, Hija de Ogun has arrived. And my godfather was like, you're looking like lose for your spirit. He's like, he's in Oba, loose for his spirit. Padre, loose for your spirit, loose for your spirit. Adrián me dijo, quítate toda esa vaina, quítatelo. Quítate esto, quítate los brazaletes, quítate todo. He told me to take off all my shit. He's like, you don't need all of that. You don't need all of that. He's like, stop it. Yes, I was strapped. He's like, stop the fucking madness. You know whose daughter you are. Chill. And so there's that. And so I keep it cute. I'm not wearing all of the things. I used to wear like that many bracelets. Those who know me know, like, I could be a clown with it. And so, yeah. I've always been pulled to Santeria as a kid. It came up in a reading that it is my path recently. How does one begin to practice? You've been practicing. You've been practicing without any formal anything. You've been practicing. You've already answered. They're already watching over you. They're already guiding you. Not everyone is called to the religion, to Santeria. Not everyone will be a priestess. And there are a lot of people who just want it so badly. They want so badly to be hija de Yemaya, and they want to be hijo de Chango, and they want because they believe. Let's get something very clear. You being crowned does not give you their powers. Please. You are not going to become Chango. You do not become Yemaya. Like, stop. Just because Beyonce did drop that Lemonade album did not make her Oshun, bro. No, that's not what's happening. That's not how it works, family. That's not how it works. We are chosen. You are chosen. And it is not everybody's path. It is not. And honestly, I did not know it was my path for a long time. I did a lot of research. I wrote about it. I studied the religion. I waited. I also understood that I'm a Leo. So I'm also a person that if this shit don't work, then maybe it's not for me. But you can't get in this religion all wishy-washy. Like, I could put it down. If I'm not really feeling it, I could put it down. This is a life commitment. And so it's deeper than people think. It's a lot of work. Spiritual work is a lot of work. And we are being called to do spiritual work, but this may not be it. May not be your path, your calling. But that doesn't mean that you can't love Oshun, and you can't love Yemaya, and you can't love babalaowos and Agayu and Osain and Ibeji, and you can absolutely pay homage to these Orishas, especially those of us who are African descendant. That's our birthright. That's part of our who we are. It's a way for us to connect. We are chosen. So how do you start? If the question is, how can I get in? How do I find a godparent? I don't have an answer for that. There's no fucking yellow pages where you can, this is the house. There are houses and there are tribes. I was very lucky and blessed to have found my godfather during a time where I needed him. And it was a beautiful union. I've shared this story, I think it's on my YouTube, about godparents and how I came. So you can go hear that testimony. I really, really love my godfather. Him and I are very tight. I have several godfathers, right? I have my padrinos, the babalaowos, who gave me kofa when I was originally initiated. And I have my padrino, Leo, who's Cuban, and he's an actor and lives in Colombia, who I love very much. And my padrino, who gave me Pinaldo, who passed away, lose for his spirit, and so when you're ready, they'll come. When you're ready, it'll find you. I wish I could say, I also have a lot of people who are like, could you be my godparent? And I feel like you could be my godparent. And that's a beautiful, I'm humbled by it. But the truth is that only a legua can say that. People, we could all have a lot of dreams and wishes, but if a legua says, that person can't be in your house, and that person can't be in your house, and that person's path ain't it, that's, it's, ellos son lo que mande. They're the ones who rule, We are from India. We are not understanding. Tell us more about your religion. Well, welcome, India. So, my religion and spirituality is called Lukumí, Santeria, or La Regla de Ocha, the rules of Ocha. And the rules of Ocha are the rules of the Orisha. The Orisha are deities. So as in India, in Hindu faith, there are gods and goddesses and deities in your, in certain religions in your country. In Africa, in Nigeria specifically, where this religion comes to be born, there are deities. So the Orisha are deities, they're gods and goddesses. What is a godparent, a babalao, or a babalao? That's a good question. A babalao is someone who, he's a high priest, the highest priest in the religion, who is servant to Orula. He divines directly with the Orula. And in our religion, the babalao is usually a man, but women are babalaos too. And in some, in Ifa, some women are babalaos, they are priests, but in our Afro-Cuban religion, it's usually men who are babalaos, who can be babalaos. And the babalao is who you go to for consultation and who you go to get registered, and they divine with Orula, and they use, they use this beautiful plato, I can't think of the name, with how it's a lot of symbolism, a lot of science, and they know the odus, they know the paths, they know the patakis, and they opele, thank you, Abure, and so when you sit with a babalao, a babalao also is the only one. The babalao, my understanding, and Abure, correct me if I'm wrong, the babalao is the only one who can tell you who your ángel de la guardia is, A. They're the only ones that can tell you whose child you are, who your head belongs to. They're the only ones that can give you mano de orula. They're the only ones that can give you the warriors. A santero cannot. A santero and a santera cannot. A santero and a santera yanifa is a priestess, and right, we have other roles. We also can divine. We also divine, but we use Oh, you must have 3 present. And I had 5. So yeah, I had 5. When I received Orula, I had 5 babalaos in that room. And the babalaos, they're sitting together. So imagine a council. They're sitting together and they're receiving messages for Orula, and they're speaking and they're receiving messages, and they tell you your path, your journey, your destiny, and all of these things. It's a really beautiful ceremony. But that's the babalao, and that's his role. But there's a lot of like cleansings and things that a babalao can do. And a santero and a santera also divines. People go to santeros and santeras to be consulted, and a santero only divines with caracoles, with the cowries. They don't use the tools of the babalao because we are not initiated to Orula, right? And then there's the oriate, the oba, who is the one who, the oba is also a high priest, but is a santero, and the oba has the most important role in ceremony. And that's all I can really say about that. Yeah. I'm going to take these last 2 questions and then I'm going to go to bed. I made santo as a kid and my tribe house is gone. Am I allowed to find a new Santeria tribe and house now? Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes, the Oba is the master of ceremonies. I loved my Oba. Damn. Lose for his spirit. Yes, there are a lot of people who are lost right now. It's not uncommon for people to break from their home, from their houses, and for very personal reasons. They leave their godparents and things don't work out. It's absolutely fine for you to find a new house, but always keep in mind that part of our job and our role, we must always pedir bendición to those godparents. Always. You know, even if we don't like them, we don't agree with them, we don't get along with them, especially if they're deceased, we're always asking them for blessings because they're the ones who basically gave birth to us, you know. Out of respect, we're always naming them. That's important. But yes, you know, we all need community. So if you're feeling lost and you're feeling alone, go seek someone out, you know, seek people out. Yeah, it's always respect for the godparents. All right, no more questions after these 2. I have now, since the pandemic, got a disciplined practice, and it guided me to do spiritual work. And my third eye is open. The more I get disciplined. It didn't give me the second part of it. It didn't give me the whole thing. I don't know if there was a question there, but I'm thrilled that you're really connecting to the third eye. For those of you who don't practice that and don't know anything about the third eye, research it. Research the chakras, right? There is something really powerful. I just finished a series, The Dark Room, where we worked with the chakras, and the third eye was an incredible practice, and like listening to what our higher purpose is. Definitely look into that. This last question. I don't practice, but I've been drawn to La Madama for some time. Recently at the Botanica, I was drawn and brought a Madama Baño and feel connected. Is this voodoo? My instinct is saying La Madama is voodoo. Who is La Madama? Who is La Madama? Yes, voodoo. I know my stuff, yo. I know my esoteric. I love that you're being drawn to La Madama. It's pretty beautiful. That's fantastic. There's someone I follow. I follow on Instagram the House of Hoodoo. They're voodoo priests and priestess. Definitely reach out to them. You know, I don't really know a lot. I love voodoo. I love voodoo. I'm very connected to voodoo. I believe it's in my bloodline, and so I'm very drawn. I have my own stuff, my own personal stuff, but I'm not super well versed. But I say, if you're being called to La Madama, yo, all praise La Madama, yo. Let's honor that black woman by giving her all of the delights, all of the things. So study. It's important to study, and I would say that about it, all of the things we've been talking about tonight. Study. Find the thing. That's fantastic. Find the thing that you're connected to and study. Study and practice. Right now we're being called. That's why I did this tonight. I wanted, how could we strengthen our spirituality? By practicing, by having a discipline, by waking up every day and honoring those people that guide us and protect us, that allow us to be alive another day. Family, I hope that this conversation brought you peace, answered some questions. Always the first step is to work with your ancestors. Yes, Abure. Absolutely. That's so important. Get to know your ancestors. And if you don't know who they are, you can still light a candle for the dead. You can still call forth those grandparents, great-grandparents, those people, you know. My loves, that's it. A sister's tired. I'm going to bed. I'm sending you all so much love, crazy blessings. What I want for me, I want for you. I pray you find peace and find your spiritual practice. Be well, everyone. Good night.